Welcome everybody to another episode of the Our Barca podcast, featuring our newest member, Atarwa. We have Jeffrey here again, Mads, and myself, Ruhani_9. So let's get to it, guys. Big game yesterday, Manchester City. We finally progressed to the quarterfinals. What are your preliminary thoughts on this match?
Well, great match, of course. Messi doing his usual stuff. No, out of this world, this guy.
Yeah, I think Joe Hart was the man of the match for me. I think Messi was brilliant, but Joe Hart was, it could have been 5-0 or 6-0, but Joe Hart really earned my respect today. So and I think in the first half we were very aggressive, but in the second half we kind of slowed down, and we just wanted to we've got the margin. Let's slow down now. Just keep the ball and let's just play them, I guess.
Was that wise on our part, do you think?
What?
Was that wise on our part to slow down, do you think?
I guess so, because it was a good margin, right? It was a 2-goal margin. So I think, if they would have scored the penalty, I think that would have been a different thing then. Ter Stegen did a good job of saving that penalty. If he would have scored that penalty, Aguero, then I think we would have been in trouble. I think Messi would have had to step up or something.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Mascherano pointed towards where Aguero was going to shoot?
Yeah.
I did see that. I loved it.
Yeah. What do you think he did? Do you think he, could, obviously knows Aguero very well from, Argentina and stuff. Do you think he knows how he shoots his penalties? That he could see it on the run-up or where he looked?
Probably. Because let's think about it. In the World Cup, where penalties are a very common thing to happen, the teams practice them a lot, and so when they're spending a lot of time as a team practicing that just 4 or 5 months ago, or more than that, but still, very recently, it makes sense that he knows his penalty taking tendencies. And there seems to be some controversy among some people whether that's right for him to tell Ter Stegen where he's going to take the penalty, but I don't know. Personally, there should be no controversy at all. They're there to win a game, and I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Ter Stegen actually said that Rafinha pointed the other way, so we're kind of lucky that he made the right call.
Why would Rafinha know anything about Aguero's penalty taking?
No idea.
If it's between trusting Mascherano's opinion and Rafinha, you're like, get out of here, Rafinha. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we took our foot off the gas pedal a little bit in the second half, and City came very close to equalizing on a couple of occasions. One where Ter Stegen kind of tried to dribble past Aguero and lost the ball to him, which gave me a personal heart attack. And then the penalty, of course. And do you guys think that was done purposefully by the team to slow it down in light of the upcoming matches? Or do you think it was just City really pushing us to our limit?
No, I think it was done purposefully, because I think it was Silva who commented after the match that he said how Messi is the one dictating the tempo right now. And in the second half, you could see just Messi walking around with the ball and not eager to rush forward as much as in the first half. So I think it was our initiative to slow it down.
Get a goal early as possible and to secure the tie like that, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, I think we had to, slow it down because City were pressing so high. They were playing with such high intensity that we had to slow down, between their attacks and try to, lower the tempo a bit because they were attacking. Obviously, they had to because they needed 2 goals yesterday. And they had to, press really high. They had to get those goals. And obviously, we created a lot of chances and results of, that high pressing. We didn't manage to finish those chances, but, so they played really high and had a high line. So I think we had to slow it down in the purpose of, securing the results.
Yeah. Speaking of securing the results, obviously Joe Hart played out of his mind yesterday. A lot of good saves, but at the same time, at what point is it him being an incredible goalkeeper, and at what point is it our very poor finishing? Because personally, with a few players, primarily Neymar, I was very frustrated yesterday because several one-on-ones with the keeper, several golden opportunities to give us that 2-0, 3-0 lead, and nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with Neymar, but I personally was very disappointed with his performance as a whole. Not just his finishing yesterday. What do you guys think?
He did, he did have a bit of unluck. You have that, the shot in the post that basically rolls along the line. So we had some on the, we had some, shots that were a bit more not having luck, I think, or not the margins on his side. And then there were some, moments that I completely agree with you that he should have done better, should have, finished. Well, one time he, could have easily slotted it, near post, and he tried to pass it inside the box instead. Other times, he tried a shot instead of passing, obviously. And you had, Suarez' chance, at the end of the match where he could have just passed to a completely open Neymar and he decided to shoot instead. So, yeah, I definitely believe, if we want to win on Sunday, I believe it's on Sunday, the Clasico, we have to, secure our chances better than we did this game. But I think we will, because I also think, the poor finishing was a result of how many chances we actually created, because, when you create less chances in the game, you've seen earlier that you tend to score more, per chance. When you create a lot of chances, you often, you don't score as many goals. I don't know what that is, but, just seems to be a general trend. And maybe that was one of the... But I definitely agree with you that the finishing should have been done better, especially with Neymar and possibly Suarez as well. And Messi had some obvious as well, but he created so much that you can't really, you can't complain about Messi because, he was the reason for, 75% of the chances yesterday.
Yeah, he's more of a playmaker role than anything yesterday, I found. Playing between the lines and just really destroying Fernandinho and Milner every possibility he got. I laughed every single time. It was great.
Yeah, Messi was...
What do you guys think about the defense? What do you think, how was the performance last night?
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm personally happy. The only thing when it comes to team defending, and again, I know this is going to sound like I'm hating on Neymar. It's not like a personal vendetta at all. I love the guy. But when it comes to defending, he doesn't help out. And Jordi Alba is often alone against whoever it is he's up against. When it was against Nasri, he was holding him off fine. But then when he's up against someone with pace, like Navas, who's as good as him in terms of speed, it gave him a lot of trouble. And City's chances all came from that side, and their penalty came from that side as well, because Alba was alone. He's alone, and no one's there to help him. Whereas on the other side, you have either Messi or Suarez helping out in defense.
Yeah.
On that side, Neymar is, I don't know if he's instructed to do it, but he's being a little bit lazy if it's on his own accord.
Yeah. And also the other side, I think most importantly has Rakitic, helping out. He's so important defensively, and I think that's why... some of the reason why there's so few chances coming from the, left side where Dani Alves and Rakitic and Messi is, compared to the other side that has, Iniesta doesn't have the same defensive capabilities as Rakitic has, obviously. And I think Rakitic has been even more important than we think when it comes to defending on the right side and defending in general. He's really solid, and he's really starting to get warm in the Barca shirts. Started with a goal yesterday as well. That was an excellent finish.
I would actually disagree with that. Iniesta was... I've paid attention to Iniesta's defensive work rate yesterday, and he was out of this world.
He was doing a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
He was getting...
I definitely agree that he's good, but I don't think he's nowhere near Rakitic's wrong. But I don't think he's close to Rakitic in terms of the defending. Rakitic has the the physique to win headers or to win a major, or do great tackles as well as defending great or attacking great. I don't think Iniesta is close to Rakitic in terms of defending, but I definitely did think he, considering his physique, did a great job yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's in terms of their style of defending. I mean, Rakitic puts in a ton of hard work, and he's very physical in that aspect, so when he does defend, it stands out. Whereas Iniesta yesterday, I don't know the stats, but he won a lot of balls back by just pressing in teams on whoever had the ball in City, and I would honestly bet that he had more tackles won than Rakitic yesterday. I think it was more of a positioning versus tackling kind of style of defending, and Iniesta's positioning was amazing yesterday. Very, very good performance by him.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like the Mascherano Busquets discussion.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's like Mascherano has that more, obvious defending, those, really great tackles, while Busquets has these, perfect positioning to intercept the passes and those things. So, yeah, I was just about to say the same thing.
So, Mascherano... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do you think Busquets will be fit for the Clasico?
Don't know.
He's training today.
I think they said he wasn't going to be. Or
they don't know for sure, but he was training today with the squad. I don't know if you guys saw the video. It's on the front page. But yeah, he's been training with the squad. They were just doing a light practice, it seems. And he's there. He doesn't have anything on his ankle or any supportive device. He seems to be just kicking the ball fine. I think it'll be a game time decision, and I think he'll probably be... I wouldn't be surprised to see him as a starter, but I think he'll be at least on the bench.
Yeah. And what do you think about the midfield? I mean, obviously, Rakitic has replaced Xavi's role. He's come into Xavi's role. And what do you think? Like, the way Xavi used to play and the way Rakitic is playing now. Do you think the way we are going towards is better, or was the old way better?
I'll put it this way. The way we were playing in the first half yesterday is very fitted for Rakitic. The way we were trying to play in the second half yesterday is very fitted to Xavi. Yeah. And that's why I think a substitution should have been made if we're really trying to change our focus on the game to a more containment/possession game. And so to answer your question directly, I think it depends on the circumstance. And the way the team's going now, in terms of how we win games, which is like high pressure attacking with the front three and very vertical attack, Rakitic is more suited for that. And he helps cover our defensive weaknesses better than Xavi can as well, just because he's more... Like, he's faster, he's stronger, he's taller, etc.
Yeah. And someone wrote on the subreddit, I think, that, Lucho's system is, is preparing for, the days without Xavi in the team. And, a new system, because finding a player like Xavi isn't going to happen every day, He's done some amazing things for the team, but, eventually it's going to decline. It's already started declining. We've seen a lot more of Rakitic this season than we have seen Xavi. So, yeah, I think Lucho is, just preparing for this these days without Xavi and just, trying to ease Rakitic into the team.
Yeah.
So, in terms of Mascherano's work, we've seen him in defense now, in midfield now, against both high quality and low quality teams. And would we want him in the midfield against Madrid? If yes, why? If no, why? Jeffrey?
No, because I want him in defense. That's pretty much the only reason. And, well, I still rate Busquets over Mascherano. Why is a difficult question, but Mascherano in defense has just been a rock this season, and I want him there.
But I'll ask you this. He's always been weak against Benzema.
That's true, actually.
I think if there's one player who's constantly exploited him, it's been Benzema, just because of balls won in the box at headers and stuff, aerial tackles, aerial battles. He's too short, unfortunately, and he always loses out to Benzema. So that's why I'm thinking, if Busquets isn't 100% on Sunday, which, realistically probably won't be, and so there's a 50-50 chance of whether he's on the bench or starting, then we have to debate between having a Xavi, Iniesta, Xavi, Iniesta, Rakitic midfield, or like a Mascherano, Rakitic, Iniesta midfield, some combination of those, and it leaves us to decide then, do we want Mascherano primarily in defense or in midfield? And I think someone like Mattia, for example, would be a lot better at box defending than Mascherano.
Is James Rodriguez ready for El Clasico?
I don't know.
Is James Rodriguez ready for El Clasico?
no idea. But I doubt he would start if he's been injured or out for a
Yeah,
while.
I guess. So I guess we can assume. I don't think Kedira is going to play. To be honest, I think they're going to play with Kroos, Modric, and Isco probably.
I think
Is
so.
Modric back?
Yeah, Modric is back.
Yeah, Modric is back. So
is
I
he
think it's
good
gonna start.
again, or are they still shitty?
He's Modric, I guess. Yeah, I think he's going to start. And the thing is, with the midfield, I think it's going to be important with pace in the midfield, and that's the main argument for having Mascherano is in the midfield is that he's a bit quicker than Busquets. Busquets isn't exactly the quickest player in our team, so I think having pace in the midfield could be important, but also having Busquets in the midfield, he's so good at positioning and those things. So yeah, it's hard to choose between those because they're both so good in the defensive midfielder role. So I guess we'll see.
I think the perfect defense against Madrid would be Jordi Alba, Matthew, PK, and Dani Alves, and Mascherano in the defensive midfield, and Iniesta and Rakitic. I think that would be perfect, I guess.
Now, Jeffrey, yesterday you were saying that you think Xavi should start against Madrid.
Not exactly what I was saying, but
What were you saying?
Yeah. What were I saying? I don't know really, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. That's the main thing. Like the times he has started this season, he's always been pretty good. Well, except for the one Madrid match.
Ironically.
I kind of want to see, a Rakitic play against Real Madrid because I know how good he was when he plays against Real Madrid for Sevilla. I remember that pair with that insane backheel flick. That was absolutely insane. So I really want to see Rakitic because of that, and I believe he has the qualities to play, or to play an important role against Madrid. With his physique and those things. So I really want to see Rakitic on Sunday. To be honest, Rakitic and Iniesta.
But for me, it isn't for me, it isn't necessarily Xavi or Rakitic. It can be both. I think the times we've seen Rakitic with Xavi, it's been working really well too. So why not?
Yeah. What was I going to say? Just as long as we don't see Matthew on left back again, I'm happy. Please no.
Because all I remember is that last Clasico, we were starting to find something that was kind of working. And then heading into the Clasico, Suarez gets fit, so he switches up the forward line right away. And then we were expecting, Iniesta and Rakitic to start with Busquets, but instead we saw Iniesta and Xavi, was it?
Yep.
And then in defense, again, things got switched up. We saw Mathieu go at left back, and we had Mascherano come in center back. And then everything was a mess, and something was working, and we messed it up, and it didn't work. And then the players were lost, and they got really badly defeated, despite the early goal. And so my only concern now is that we do seem to have something that's been working. 17 wins in 18 matches or something like that is pretty good, with finally a consistent lineup. And why mess with it if it's working? Especially when the style of the team as it is now is the style that is going to exploit Madrid's weaknesses.
Okay, so I think the statement you said that if it's working, why change it? I think Real Madrid, they must be observing our games, right? So they must be analyzing what happens, what weaknesses we have, and I think to change things up a bit wouldn't be like crazy because to just throw them off their base, like I don't know, because Carlo Ancelotti is very smart, I guess. I think he would have figured out how to break our defense because last Clasico. I don't exactly remember how we played, but I think
it was bad.
I think we failed under the high pressure that Real Madrid put on us in the end.
Yeah, and I think we should change things up a bit. If it doesn't work, then we always have the second half to, you know, uh,
What's good is that we are going to be coming at them with something they haven't seen from us in a while, with a true number 9.
Mhm.
You know, I don't remember the last time. The last time we had anything similar to that was like when Alexis played as a number 9, like 3 years ago against them.
Mhm.
But that's something new they haven't seen, like from us, and how to play against us. And considering how they are weak, especially defensively in midfield, like they have no defensive midfielders really that are going to play. Cruz, Modric, and Isco are not going to be defensive. I can definitely see Messi exploiting the space between the lines. And if he's one-on-one with Sergio Ramos or Pepe in midfield, barring a retarded referee, we're going to like get some cards in there, and it'll be to our advantage. So that's something new they haven't seen from us, and it's something that we can punish them with, especially if they are weak in midfield.
Yep. And I gave Lucho the benefit of the doubt last Clasico because it was his first Clasico, or at least in modern times, he obviously played some Clasicos. But Carlo had a few. Was it three Clasicos last year, right? Yeah, I think it was 3. Last year, the last season, I think it was 3 Clasicos.
Yep.
So Carlo Ancelotti already had some experience with the the modern day El Clasicos, and as someone discussed on the subreddit, it's when you go into El Clasico, it almost seems like everything is irrelevant. Form is irrelevant. Everything just it's just such a special match, and everyone seems to play on a different level than earlier. So I don't really want to go all on about Real Madrid's struggle against Schalke and lost 4-0 against Atletico, drew against Bilbao, and compare them to Barca's excellent form with 17 wins in the last 18 games, because I feel like form is very relevant. But now that Lucho has some experience with El Clasico in the modern days, he knows what El Clasico is like a coach. And I think he's gonna do something else and be more secure about his choices, because last time it really seemed like he wanted to do something really, really special to turn the game. Like he played Mathieu on the left back. Was it the first time in the entire season?
No,
It was one of the first or second times.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it
second
was the
time.
first. So it kind of seemed like Lucho wanted to do something really special, just to turn the game around and seem like a brilliant coach. And now I think he's gonna play a bit more secure, be a bit more confident in his choices, and he has some crucial experience now.
Yeah, and we have a system now.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
we had nothing then, other than the remnants of what was before and some of the small things that Lucho was trying to put in. But there was no, until maybe 2 months after that, we still had no system. Now we finally have something figured out. We've established that Suarez is going to play as a 9 and Messi is in a support role behind him or to his right. Small things like that go a long way. When we look back at that first Clasico, the front 3 had no idea where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do. And Suarez was on the right wing and didn't do much. And it wasn't his fault. He just didn't have the opportunity to do much. Small things like that make a big difference. Now that everyone knows their role, they have it figured out, as a team they can cohesively move forward and do better. And yeah, with stuff like the left back role being sorted out, like Jordi Alba is our left back. He knows what to do there. Mathieu did not know what to do back there, and he got exploited several times because of it, and Bale punished him because of it. So we have it. Like, I'm much more confident going into this new Clasico than before, just by nature of our team knowing each other. And while form isn't, I wouldn't say it's irrelevant. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
We're on a hot streak right now. The confidence is high. The tempo is high. In fact, the fact that we played yesterday might even be to our favor going into this match, because their last game was like 6 days ago against Levante, whereas we're at a high rate against high performance teams going forward. So there's a lot of momentum on our side, and I think that all factors considered, we have a very good shot at expanding our lead.
Yeah, and also another benefit for us, I think, is that City played kind of like Real Madrid yesterday, with the high pressure and the high lines, try to win the ball back early and hit us quickly. And so I think I think that match, playing that system, they were playing against a system like that, like 4 days before the Clasico. 5 days. No, 4 days.
4 days.
Before the Clasico. But 4 days before the Clasico could be really beneficial for us. So we, because earlier this season, I remember the game we lost against PSG at the Parc des Princes. We lost, we lost to the high pressure that PSG played, and again in the El Clasico, I think we lost to the high pressure that Real Madrid put on us. Now the last final or couple of games against teams that play a very high pressure, we seem to have, or not completely in control. I still think that's our weakest point, or teams that play a really high pressure. But I think we're more, or the team is more experienced with that kind of pressure now, and they seem to know better what to do, and play themselves out of sticky situations.
I feel like that you're definitely right when it comes to our weakness being the high presser, and I don't know. I find that our team doesn't know exactly how to react when they're faced with that. I think it seems as if they're confused whether they should go all out, like attacking as well and high pressure them, or try to maintain the ball and keep possession. And it seems like they get in sort of a limbo stage between the two. That's how I felt yesterday. Like, I felt like they wanted to keep the ball and hold possession to tire out City, but at the same time, they'd occasionally just do a long ball and lose the ball. Try to get Messi or Suarez on the long ball and lose the ball, and they're caught in between. And as a result, the other team gets more momentum, and then we're just like sitting ducks almost. And they almost scored on us twice in that time. And I don't know. I think when we're facing that situation, as a team, when the coach, they just have to decide on one tactic and go forward with it all out. Like, if you want to hold the ball, then hold it effectively. If you want to and if you want to play vertically, then do it properly. Don't just do it half-assed, so to speak.
Yep, I think that was one of Pep's biggest best. Tactically, it was very good at dealing with these high pressure teams, because every time we played high pressure teams, not every time, but under Pep's era, or when we played Real Madrid, for example, the team seemed really secure in their passes. They always managed to pass their way out of the back, even with the high pressure. And so let's hope Lucha can pick up some of or some of the things that Pep did back then.
Of course, the players mattered back then, having
prime
Xavi and Busquets. Then
that was.
But there does seem to be a more level of control from the manager back then than we have now. I mean, even considering yesterday, I think yesterday was a very telling match in a lot of ways. And another way in which it was telling was the fact that we had no substitutions until like the 80-something minute.
Yeah.
And when you're looking forward to a match, in 4 days, the biggest match of the season, arguably, and you're ahead 3-1 on aggregate, there were no substitutions. We were being pushed back. The team was becoming stagnant, and there was no desire to put in fresh blood until Rafinha in like the 80th minute or something. So I don't know. I think it's a bit questionable. I was expecting a bit more proactive substituting and changing of tactics from Lucha.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Lucha wanted another goal before he started, substituting the players, and then eventually just got or just had to, because he seemed to really want to, secure the win. I remember when Rakitic scored the first goal, he was so happy. Lucha was always happy, but he seemed so pleased, and I think he really wanted another goal to secure the win before he started subbing on Rafinha and the other players, or the more reserved. I guess we can say that now. We seem to have almost a best lineup. That's like the first time in like 5-6 years that I can tell that we have like a best lineup. I feel.
Yeah. And to be fair, he should have had that second goal and the third and the fourth.
True.
It's
kind
I don't know.
I kind of feel like that was what Lucho waited for. Just quickly back to the Champions League again. Who do you want for the quarterfinals? Do you want some of the easier draws like Monaco and I guess Porto, or do you want Bayern and Real Madrid?
I guess I want Bayern. I don't know. I just want a revenge. I just want Messi to decimate them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess Porto will be nice for us. But that Bayern Munich game was very hard to watch. Pep, I think in the second leg against Bayern Munich, I think Pep didn't even bring on Messi, I guess. So
Are you talking about the 7-0?
yeah,
It was Tito, not
I think Tito was coach back then. Yes.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
wasn't
that
even
was
there.
that was.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh
No
yeah.
problem.
But yeah, anyways, Messi wasn't fit that time, and I think he can do justice now.
Yeah, we had the glorious Cesc Fabregas as our false nine. That worked out really well.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, no, that would be nice. And the way he's currently playing, I can see him being very hungry to beat Munich, especially the German players.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I think that we're coming out of a very difficult stretch right now. We're just getting out of the whole Copa del Rey / Champions League / league all in those 2 months. It would be beneficial for us to have an easier match for the next round. After that, whoever comes, whatever. But for now, it would be better, I think, to have one of the easier teams. Just because they need to be able to rotate a little bit over the next few weeks. So, I mean, there's Porto and Monaco. Monaco would be awesome. Who else is there? Juventus is not easy.
No.
Yeah. Can we get matched up against a Spanish team?
Yeah, in the quarterfinals, you can be matched up against everyone.
Just what? Yeah. Okay. Shoot.
Personally, I kind of want Real Madrid and Bayern to face each other because I really feel like Bayern would crush, well not crush, but beats Real Madrid this time. They want revenge for last year, and Real Madrid is a bit out of form. Bayern is definitely in form, and the players want revenge, and I just want to see Real Madrid get beaten really hard. It just feels so good. But so I think you can already tell for sure that Real Madrid is going to get either Monaco or Porto. Happens every time.
Yeah.
How is Bayern doing in their own league?
The last couple, they had a difficult patch of form with the loss against Wolfsburg, and then I had like 2 matches where they had like scored 7 and 8 goals. I think, or they scored the shit or really many goals. So Bayern is really in form, and obviously they won like 7-0 in the second game against Shakhtar.
Yep.
I think, yeah, and so they're definitely in form, and I really think they could crush Real Madrid.
Yeah.
To be honest.
To be fair, I mean, Bayern Munich of 2 years ago is something different than the Bayern Munich of now. I think that they haven't really played anyone serious.
No.
True. And I'm getting audio feedback from someone, by the way. I don't know who, but anyways. So, their own league is very easy for them. Apparently, they do well against anyone except for maybe 1 or 2 teams here and there. And
they
I don't know.
Against Manchester City.
And they lose. Yeah, they have a hard time against people who really give them a run for their money. Someone like City who played their heart out at the Allianz Arena, they beat them, right? 3-2 or something like that.
Yeah, Bayern were playing with a really weak team, and they had already won the group, so it's
yeah. And I don't know. I don't know how our team would match up with theirs, though. I just remember Robin destroying Alba, and Ribéry not that much of a standout, but still he gives a hard time. And then in midfield, they just have a much stronger midfield than us, which is weird to say, but it's the truth. It's just up front that we might have an advantage over them, having the 3 best forwards in the world on our team. But I don't know. I'm not super confident about that one. I'm much more confident of playing a team like Madrid or Atletico than Bayern. Even Juventus, I'd be interested in seeing just for fun.
The thing with Bayern, we obviously know how good tactically Guardiola is, and so far I haven't really seen Enrique or Luis Enrique doing something really tactically astounding. His subs are never spectacular, and it's basically always Pedro or Rafinha, whatever, and he doesn't change tactics in the middle of the game just by switching out players and stuff. It's always the same lineup and whatever. Yeah.
Only when we're desperate do you see him try to do something new, and it hasn't worked so far.
No.
And it's worrisome, at least typically managers who are more, how do you say, like people managers have an assistant who's like the brains behind well, I wouldn't say the brains, but like, the more tactical side of things. Like Rijkaard had, what's his name? Ken Had or Ten Had or something, for example. Guardiola and Tito complemented each other very well, but they were more like the same person in two bodies. But usually there's one person and a tactical advisor, and they're both together. But I don't even know who Enrique's assistant is, to be honest. I haven't even heard his name yet, and they don't seem to be much of a standout in terms of tactical brilliance because we haven't seen anything, And I don't know.
I want to compliment the things they have done with Messi, though. With managing to implement Suarez into the false nine role and or the striker role, I guess, and moving Messi down to the right wing, made him a playmaker and still allowing him to score tons of goals. So I want to compliment that part because I know a lot of people didn't see how we were going to play with Neymar, Suarez, and Messi up top with, because Neymar is obviously winger or can play striker as well, but Suarez is a classical centre forward, false nine type-ish, and Messi has also been for the last few years, or many years now, the false nine. So he's done really well in moving Messi back to the right wing and still, allow him to score or let him score a ton of goals and have a ton of assists.
It's working, yeah. And Messi is very smart, so he knows who the weakest person is to go up against. And depending on that, he goes after them. Yesterday, he humiliated Milner. He humiliated Kolarov, Fernandinho, and all of them. And he knows when to go to the middle and when to attack from there, and he knows when to be on the flank and when to attack from there. So it's a definite plus for us. And yeah, regarding Lucho's role in that, it shows how good of a people manager he is, because that's more of a convincing Messi to play on the right thing as opposed to coming up with that idea like as a tactically brilliant thing. Everyone knew that would be best for the team. It's just a matter of convincing the team to play that way, and he's done that well. And it's worked.
What do you guys think? Going into the Clasico, what are our weaknesses? Like, what things could they exploit?
I think a biggest weakness is, as we talked about earlier, is the high pressing that Real Madrid is known for, and they've scored many goals against us because of high pressing. I remember the Benzema goal after 17 seconds or something with the high pressing. That was not a very good start to the game, and we've conceded a lot of goals against Real Madrid and PSG earlier this season due to high pressing, and I definitely believe that's our biggest weakness heading into El Clasico.
If that's a weakness, then I think we should maybe try different midfield personnel. But again, that's not the be-all and end-all of things. Like, we can't just sub in Xavi for Rakitic and it'll be perfectly solved. The whole team has to play in that sort of maintenance/possession game. And so far, with Suarez and Neymar especially, we've had a very direct approach, and I don't know if they fit into that system of trying to maintain the ball as opposed to attacking vertically. So there's a lot of discrepancies in our team in that sense. It's hard to get everyone on the same page. Yeah. So yeah, it's a definite weakness. And in terms of attacking it, I think we just have to go all out with a vertical approach and bypass the midfield altogether. Because that's how the team's going to play anyways. And then if they're going to play that way, then Xavi's going to become irrelevant.
Yeah, I also think Alba is going to be important because he offers so much support on the left side for Neymar, and I feel like Alba creates a lot of room, with his runs up and down the side, and it creates a lot of space and always offers support. So I think Alba is going to be really important, and it's also going to be interesting to see whether we play Rakitic or Xavi, because Xavi started the first El Clasico, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we did struggle with the high pressure there as well. So maybe Xavi isn't the solution, and maybe we should give Rakitic a chance, to, because he's also really well. He's not as good as a passer as Xavi is. That's gonna take some practice, but he's in terms of physique, he's gonna outpower most. I think he's even gonna be outpower Kroos in the midfield, and he's easily gonna take on Isco, and he's easily gonna take on Modric. So I really want to see Rakitic, to see what he can do against these high pressing teams.
Yeah, and they're good on the ball, and they can definitely take a deal of possession away from us. And so, having a midfield that has the physicality to kind of fight back and exploit the fact that Modric, Isco, and Cruz are small and weak would be good for us, I think. And Xavi, unfortunately, yeah, amazing pass. He offers nothing, because he's older now and he's not as fast, not as physically capable. So yeah, I'm in full support of Rakitic starting. I think it's beneficial for the team.
Also, we have to remember, obviously, that even though Ronaldo isn't at his best form at the moment, it's still going to be a huge threat. And having, Rakitic supporting Dani Alves at that side would be, it would be good for my heart.
Yeah, and that's why I think Mascherano should play too. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Well, it all depends over the next few days as to how Busquets is doing.
I really think Mascherano's, pace advantage over Busquets is going to be important in this game if he starts. Because I think having playing a quick team, maybe with Matteo together with PK. I don't think we should play PK and Bartra. To be honest, it feels too slow. And I definitely think we should try to play Matteo at the centre back against Soch, just to get some extra pace back there. I think that's going to be important.
Yeah,
I agree.
Speaking of Dani Alves, he was pretty freaking good yesterday.
Yeah, well, now he's missing the next match for in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see Adriano, I'm assuming, against whoever we play next. I think that's a safe bet.
Or maybe a 3-4-3 like against PSG with Bartra on the right. I don't know.
Well, I guess it all depends on who we're against, right? Okay, we're not going to do that against like Madrid, for example, but we'll see. Yeah, no, that'd be exciting. I guess we'll see how Lucho adapts accordingly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dani Alves was very good yesterday.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole team was good, and even Neymar was good too.
Mm-hmm.
In the first half when the team was on all cylinders, he was playing very well and holding the ball, winning it back, doing some nutmegs of his own, giving Nasri a really hard time. He won us a lot of fouls and could have gotten them a red card. If the refs saw it. If the refs saw it, that would have been a red card and game over from the first half. So he was good too. It's just bad finishing and not enough defensive work rate from him. But on the whole, the team played very well and they're in good spirits, I think. And so that's all we can ask for going into a big game like Sundays.
So, do you guys think Dani Alves is going to leave after this season? Because the general opinion has been that his performance throughout the season has not been up to the par. I guess that is the general opinion. But recently, I guess there was some news article that he said he isn't leaving. So, what do you guys think about that?
He's the best we got, and we can't replace him. So we should offer him whatever he wants.
Yeah, he started off a bit slow, I think, the season. But he definitely improved, and he's been playing, especially in the big matches. I do think I remember him playing really well in the first leg against Manchester City as well. So he's really been proving himself in the bigger games, and I definitely think we should hold on to him for another year, at least.
Yeah, and this all comes down to Lucho's people managing too, because ever since he just stopped crossing, he's been good.
Yeah,
it's true, but I also do find that he only looks to pass to Messi, and it's very frustrating sometimes. Yeah. I mean, he'll hold, looking for Messi, and if Messi's not open, then he'll screw up.
Yeah.
And that's something that upsets me, because, you'd think that with more and more time with the team, he would become more creative with his team members, as opposed to only looking for that single pass every time. And yeah, they do combine well with each other, by all means, but everything in its time and place, right? Not every single freaking time. Yeah. And that's my biggest pet peeve with Dani Alves.
Fair point.
Defensively, he messes up, but everyone messes up. We can't hold him to that. But offensively, that's what bothers me the most right now. Mm-hmm. But we need him, and we can't replace him until at least another 6 months or a year? Not 6 months, more than that, but a while. So we don't have a choice, unfortunately. And he'll stay. I think he'll stay, because he's not he has a good contract that he's happy with. I think it's just a matter of renewing it, right? And The
I guess it's a
management
matter
was
of
said
the,
yeah.
whether I think he wanted 3 years, right? And the club only wants to offer 1 year, as far as I heard. So we'll see.
How old is he?
32
32,
or I don't know.
30, 33, 34.
Nah.
So
So,
around there.
yeah, he's definitely getting older, but he's still good. I still rate him as one of the best right backs out there.
Realistically, just give him a 3-year contract and sell him to like a Russian club in
Yeah.
2 years
no,
for like
yeah.
billions of dollars.
He's 31 years old.
Okay.
27?
No, 31.
Oh, 30.
Well, that would be
Yeah.
something.
27, I definitely think we should offer him 3 more years.
Any predictions for Sunday?
No, don't do this to me. 2-1 for us.
I'm
I hate
saying
predictions.
3-1.
3-1.
I'm going for a Messi hat trick or Messi,
It's not-
Suarez, and Neymar. I guess.
Mats?
I don't want to jinx anything by predicting a win, so I'm gonna say 2-2.
Ooh.
I always spoil that. I jinx everything all the time. So I quit.
Oh man, you're out of the podcast. But
Yeah.
anyways, with
Just-
that said, I guess it's time. Oh, sorry, you were gonna say something.
Mats or me?
One of you. Someone was saying something.
Jeffrey, did you predict?
I'm going to be boring and join Rouhani. 2-1.
2-1. All right. Well, there you go. Those are the predictions. Put your money on it if you dare. And I guess that's it's been almost an hour today, huh? So
That was
Yeah.
good. Good show.
yeah. So
And also a quick mention: if anyone, obviously this is a community-driven podcast, so if anyone wants to be on the podcast, you just message one of the people on the show, and we'll see what we can do.
awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you again for listening in, and look forward to us in another 5 months. And we'll be back. So all right. Bye bye.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye.